Dewey Hammond here with NFL scout Dave Rosano. Dave, you spent more than 20 years in the league with the Rams and also the 49ers. You spent some time with Mike Martz. We're here to talk about the NFC North. So let's talk about Mike Martz and what impact he'll have on the Chicago Bears.
Well, I think Mike Martz definitely brings to the table a great offensive system. He'll definitely enhance the stats of Jay Cutler and some of those young receivers there. And he'll bring excitement to Chicago. Does it equal wins? I don't think so.
So one of the young receivers that I know you like, Johnny Knox. Talk about Johnny Knox. He's the guy that has the work ethic. He brings it to the table every day. All the cliches that we're used to hearing for those high character guys. But what does he bring to that offense?
He brings speed, hands, and ability to get open. He's a great route runner, kind of like a young Isaac Bruce. I mean, I was with Mike in St. Louis, and he loves the speed guys, loves the guys that can break off the routes and get open. He can read a defense. So Johnny Knox is outstanding. He's going to continue to get better. That was a great fifth-round pick for the Bears last year.
Now, on the opposite side of the ball, on the defense, one guy whose work ethic has been questioned over the years, Julius Peppers, a flash guy at the end of the year. He'll get his stats. He'll make his plays. You can put together a great highlight reel on the guy, but you could also put together a great reel of plays that he's taken off. He's not putting in the effort. Do you think he'll have a legitimate impact on that defense teaming up with Brian Urlacher?
He'll have an impact, but I do think he's overrated. I don't think he's in the same class as a guy like a Dwight Freeney, for instance. Dwight's a much more explosive pass rusher and a guy that is constantly around the quarterback. Peppers does flash. He's big and he's athletic, so he's going to get his double-digit sacks. But at the end of the day, he is overrated. Definitely not worth the money they paid him. But when you're a desperate team, those guys are in a win-now mode. You're going to go out and sign a guy like that. So again, no. Peppers to me is when you watch tape. If you didn't know it was Julius Peppers, you'd think he was just a decent starter. You wouldn't think he was this elite Pro Bowl type talent that he's cut out to be.
Best case scenario for the Chicago Bears this season, can they play up to the level of the Packers and the Vikings?
I don't think it's close. I think you're talking 6 wins, maybe 7, but I think they're a bottom. When you look at the league, I think they're somewhere in the 24th best team talent-wise. I think they've really fallen off talent-wise. They're shaky at the quarterback position there, and the offensive line is very shaky. So, can they compete with those two teams? No, I don't think so.
The division favorites, Packers, Vikings. The Vikings have Brett Favre back. I know that you have them number 1 in your power rankings. Talk a bit about why you love the Vikings so much and what they have this year that they didn't have last year to get over the hump.
Well, the Vikings really have no weakness. I mean, they have depth at every single position on the field, and that's what you strive for. They've done an outstanding job there in personnel. I mean, they're 9 deep on the defensive line. And, they draft this kid out of USC, Everson Griffin, who's an outstanding pass rusher. They get him in the, 3rd or 4th round. So, again, Chad Greenway, E.J. Henderson. They have guys, their secondary is really good. Anton Winfield. Of course, the Williams brothers, Jared Allen, the best pass rusher this league's seen in a while. They are really deep. Ray Edwards. They just add depth. They add Toby Gerhart. They lose Chester Taylor. They add Toby Gerhart to complement Adrian Peterson. They have Sidney Rice, who broke out last season. It'll be in his 2nd year. So, again, that team just continues to reload with talent, and they just upgrade the depth more than anything else.
Now, Brett Favre, obviously an elite quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, not too bad himself. You love Aaron Rodgers. Talk a bit about what you like with the Green Bay Packers this season.
I think I like the Packers' upside to continue to get better as a team. They didn't make a lot of moves, which actually can be a good thing. Sometimes the best moves you make are moves you don't make at all, which brings continuity. They sign their own, they re-sign their own more than any other team in the league, and it just, again, that improves the chemistry in the locker room. And so, with Rodgers continuing to get better, with the receivers still really productive, the running game's good, the defense will continue to get better with Dom Capers there in his 2nd season. I think they'll definitely challenge for not only the division but the NFC title overall.
Who's going to get the majority of the looks? Is it going to be Greg Jennings? Is it going to be Donald Driver? Is it going to be Jermichael Finley?
I think it'll be even between Jennings and Driver. I think they'll both have in the neighborhood of 80 catches. I think Jermichael Finley will definitely take away from him this season. I think he came into his own last year. I got him 14th round in my fantasy league, and that was obviously a great keeper pick this year. But I think everybody knows about him now. He's an elite athlete. You saw that at University of Texas. How he fell to the 3rd round is a mystery. I think they're thrilled with him. I think he's going to continue to play at a Pro Bowl level. He's outstanding. But I think they're going to spread the ball around. Rodgers will spread the ball around. This is why I think Rodgers could throw for 35 touchdowns this year. He's got so many weapons that I think they'll be outstanding.
Now, you mentioned that the Minnesota Vikings, you don't see them as having any weaknesses. If you had to peg a weakness for the Green Bay Packers, what do you see?
Well, I think the Green Bay Packers, I think their safety spot is a little weak. In the Packers, possibly their depth at running back. So, when you look at Ryan Grant after that, it's a big question mark. They have Brandon Jackson, who's just a guy, and they have a rookie James Stark. So I don't think that behind Ryan Grant, I don't think they have any any proven depth. So that's a little bit of an issue. And again, their safeties are okay, but not elite. But again, their front seven's good, so I think they'll be fine.
Let's talk about the Detroit Lions. They got a second-year guy you like in Matt Stafford and a rookie you really like in Javid Best. Talk a bit about those two guys and what you see for the Detroit Lions this season.
Well, Stafford, watching him throw the ball, he threw it a lot like Troy Aikman in college. I mean, he's got a great arm. He can drive the ball. He's accurate. Javid Best is a home run hitter. He's a lot like Bernard Scott and Jamal Charles, those type of backs. He's even more explosive. He's a guy that has several long runs of over 50 yards in his college career. Very explosive, can accelerate with the best of them. So I think Best is going to be a big play guy for him this year as a rookie. You got to get the ball in his hands in open spaces, and I think bringing in Nate Burleson to go along with Calvin Johnson is another plus, and getting Tony Scheffler as a tight end to complement Brandon Pettigrew, that's going to help them. So they've helped themselves a lot of ways, and I just see Stafford will continue to get better, putting more talent around him, and I think they could be possibly an 8-8 team this season and surprise some people.
Right, 8-8.
Definitely.
That is a surprise. I was going to ask you how long it would take them to get back to a 500 level or even a winning record. How many years off do you think they're from being able to compete for the division? It's a tough division at the top.
I think the way they've gone since Martin Mayhew's taken over as GM, I think I'd give them 2 years. I think getting guys like Ndamukong Suh and Louis Delmas and Javid Best and people like that, I think they're definitely getting the right building blocks, and of course Matt Stafford. So a couple more good solid drafts and good off-season free agent signings, and this team can compete for the division.
So in a couple of years, it's fair to say that Lions fans, there actually might be Lions fans, and they might actually have a reason to care on Thanksgiving.
Well, there's no question that the key is the franchise quarterback. They got that, and they continue to build the defense with guys like Sue and getting a Kyle Van Bosch, and again having Louis Delmas, and getting Chris Houston, a great free agent pickup in the offseason. And then they continue to build the defense up. They're going to be just fine.
So you don't see them as being at the bottom of the division then this year?
I don't think so. I think that'll be Chicago. I think Chicago will be at the bottom of the division. I think Detroit's an ascending team. I think Chicago's a descending team. So I think it's going to be a tough year for the Windy City.
Dave, thank you for your time.
Thank you.